Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Magpie Channel TV. Welcome to the match reaction. Liverpool 4, Newcastle 1. Oh, deja vu at Anfield. It's not the first time we take the lead there, and then it all goes to pot, and we end up getting battered. I do think it flatters Liverpool a little bit tonight, the 4-1. Don't get us wrong, second half, they were very good. Newcastle went. But for the first 36 minutes, Newcastle were really good, played really well, but we just knew that intensity was going to dwindle. We're going to fizzle out. We're going to lose our energy. And that was obviously the case come just before the break. And then when you're given Ekitike those chances, don't get us wrong, they did well, especially for the first goal, I think it was. But after that, there's a few individual errors, there's a few sloppiness and slowness and not closing people down quick enough where they get to come in and capitalize on it. And you're scratching your head thinking, how are we getting beat here at half time? How are we down at half time? And Anthony Gordon puts us in front with a very well taken goal. Newcastle deserved that lead. They really did. I thought, were brilliant that first half an hour. Absolutely class. Exactly what we wanted. The game plan was suiting us down to a T. Open, end-to-end basketball game. Gordon, powerful finish. And then out, really, after that. A quick reply from Ekitike, a couple of goals in a few minutes. Anfield gets up for it. And then someone's saying there, what's going on with the Wi-Fi? Shouldn't be. Wi-Fi seems fine. It's all right on my end. Let us know, people, if it's all right for you, because it seems fine with me. Hopefully it's just his Wi-Fi and not. Normally it'll come up with the signals, but it hasn't, so it should be fine. But I'll just get up my phone next. I'm just interested to see if that's the case and why that would be. If there was any problems with the Wi-Fi, that definitely shouldn't be. All good from a couple of other people. So must be yours, pal. Must be yours, because I've got it on my phone here now and it's fine as well. Anyways, back to the game. Gordon puts us in the lead. Ekitike, quick double. In Newcastle kind of go to bits a little bit from then. I just think we're tired. I don't know. It's like a 4-1 the night where it's not a 4-1 in a way. Like, I do think it flatters Liverpool, but they are a class team, which they haven't really been this season, but they definitely turned up tonight and looked that way against us. But it suited them. Yes, it might have suited Newcastle being end-to-end in an open game and a bit of a basketball match, but it also suited Liverpool because both teams just wanted to go on the transition, go on the break, and have that sort of open game. And, it does suit Newcastle's pace. We obviously played for that. We'll talk about the team and the setup and everything in a minute, but we played for that. But I think when you go 1-0 up as well, we should have been a bit tighter. We've got to try and see that out at half time, man. You've got to try and see that out until half time, or at least get in at the half time bloody level at least. You shouldn't be going in losing the game. The scoring against you at half time when you 1-0 up. I just think we've blown that a bit there. And Ekitike and Isak having the last laugh there, it's just really wound me up. I mean, I could go mental, I could rant away. I can't be bothered. I've got to get up early tomorrow. The band's asleep upstairs. Honestly, but seeing Ekitike giving it the 3-1 to the Newcastle fans, trying to wind us up, and then going over to Isak on the dugout, and Isak's stroking his hair, and they're all laughing and smiling together, dishing out high fives. Oh, honestly, what a horrible sight that was. Awful, awful sight. It really was. We started the game loving life. Gordon, who gets all the grief off Liverpool fans for obviously the Everton career he had before joining us. And it was always going to be Ekitike. I said it in the preview yesterday. I said in the video today, Ekitike is going to score, isn't he? And he didn't just score one, he scored two. And to be fair, he should have had a hat-trick. He put one wide. He missed the sitter, putting the easiest chance wide. He missed a header as well, so he could have and should have had more, but he got two. And I'm gutted. I'm gutted we didn't sign him. Eddie Howe's gutted he didn't sign him. I've put Hunt and Howe in the headline because the pair of them did. Eddie Howe signed Isak, made him what he was, coached him, turned him into this world-class player. Then he jumped ship straight away, and then he tried to sign Ekitike to replace him. We tried to sign Ekitike when Howe first came in, instead of bloody Chris Wood, but Ekitike didn't fancy the relegation battle, so Eddie Howe was trying to sign him twice. He talked about him in the press conference the other day. Ekitike talked about Newcastle the day in his press conference as well a couple of days ago. And it was inevitable he was going to score. It was going to be Ekitike to score a couple of great goals. And listen, he is a quality player. He is a class striker. And to be honest, I wouldn't mind it if it was playing for Newcastle and he's winding up the Liverpool end, would you? But it's just not nice, not ideal when it's against us. And he's the one that shined, really. He stole the show alongside Florian Wirtz. Again, it always seems to be Newcastle, but these players that, well, to be fair, Wirtz has came good the last month or so, and he started looking decent, but today was probably arguably one of his best performances. I thought he was brilliant. These are high quality players, though. I mean, these are expensive players. You got Ekitike and Wirtz today being the difference makers, and there would be 200 million quid for the pair of them. So you know what I mean? It's a massive fee. They were good. They were very good. Liverpool were very good second half. Newcastle win. You could see we were knackered. Eddie's got to make the changes earlier. I'm pleased he made those changes. I'm pleased he brought on Voldemort, Wissa together, Jacob Murphy. It was too late. They were 3-1 down. You're not going to come back from 3-1 down at Liverpool with, 18 minutes to go? It was too late, man. Them subs were too late. Should have came on 10 minutes earlier. Should have came on at 2-1. It's quite ironic that we start the game with 0 strikers because Gordon leads the line. And then we finish the game with 3 strikers when you're 3-1 down and then lose 4-1 because, Asuna ends up coming on as well in the 80-odd minutes. So, it's a killer blow, that one. I think it's a big shame. It was a big ask. Listen, going from Paris on Wednesday, the lads put in a brilliant effort, and then going to Anfield today, it was always going to be a tough challenge, but just to start so well, take the lead, and then crumble, and the individual errors, and it's still really disappointing, man. But I do think 4-1's harsh, though, and I see a lot of you in the comments. We'll get into them in a minute, going ballistic, and loads of them are really bad on our social media, on Eddie Howe and stuff, but for now, let's have a look at this super chat. So if you want your comment guaranteed to read out, send one in. Tino said, some faint the first half, but same story away. Well said, and thanks for the super chat, Tino. It is the same old story, isn't it? The only time we've actually played well away, far from Paris the other night, I'm talking Premier League here, really, is last time we were in Merseyside, and that was against Everton when we won 4-1. Fight first half was brilliant. Energy was brilliant. Press was there again. Intensity was there, but it was always going to fizzle out after Wednesday night. And then, away from home, the home side, once they get in the swing of things, the crowd gets up, they get a goal. It's just, Newcastle are going to lose now. And, Newcastle's record at Anfield is absolutely horrific. 30 visits to Anfield in a row without a win now. The last 30 times we've went Anfield, we haven't won. That is absolutely shocking, man. So bad. And yes, they're the champions this year, but we know how bad they've been. They've been under pressure. The goal, 5 wins in the last 18 before today? But then they turned up today, but we played into their hands. We played into their transitional process. They hit them on the counter. And I could take your turn up. You could tell he was dead up for it. He made the difference. Wirtz, like I said, one of his best games, Liverpool shirt. And like Tino says there, same story away from home, same story at Anfield, where we just can't seem to get now. Absolutely good, man. Absolutely good, because we're going to get into the league. Well, we'll just talk about it now, actually. If you look at the league table, you see that Newcastle are 10th and they are 6 points off Liverpool in 5th, 6 points off those Champions League positions now, with a lot of tough games coming up still. I think the games like Wolves away, Bournemouth beat them 2-0 the day. Now we couldn't even lay a glove on Wolves the other week. Many games at home where we've blew the lead and whatnot. So, it's going to be a big ask now, I think, for us to finish top 5 this year. So, hopefully, we can go on and just win the Champions League. That'd be nice. The route's actually not looking too bad. So, that's going to be our best hope, I think. Villa in the Cup as well, the FA Cup. Try and win a Cup to try and get back into Europe. Well, our Champions League, shall I say. I mean, we'll probably get... Will we get? I don't know. The table's that tight and that close. I was going to say we'll probably get 7th or 8th, but it is tight and it is going to be tough. Let's just go back to the beginning then. So, 3 changes from during the week. No striker, Anthony Gordon up front. That got a lot of backlash and grief online, especially with Voldemort, Wissa and Asula being on the bench. But it was Gordon that opened the scoring. I think away from home at that point, it didn't matter too much. in terms of, our pace on the break, it was the right choice. But I just think when you go 1-0 up, that's when you become a bit smarter and tighter. And definitely, if not at half time, at least 55 minutes, 60 minutes. Don't wait until 72 to bring on Voldemort to try and hold the ball up, or Wissa to try and get him behind. Changes had to be made sooner because players' legs got tired. And I think once Gordon scored, it was kind of like, well, I've done my job now. There it is. Got my goal. It just felt that way a bit the night, he kind of fizzled out, as did a lot of the team. The second half wasn't very good at all. No Bruno today at all. He travelled to Paris, but he didn't travel to Liverpool. See what Howe says on him, but obviously not fit enough to make a difference. Just a little note there that Newcastle had 8 English players in the starting 11. Thought that was a bit of a mad fact. Lots of English players in there, the likes of Ramsey and Willock, who kept their place during the week. I thought Willock was decent again, getting the box, getting some good areas, but the final thing didn't pay off for him. Ramsey, I thought, was quiet until around half time, to be fair. I thought he did a bit more in the second half, won a few fouls, got the ball a bit further up the pitch, but not great. Byrne was good, but then tired, and then got yellow carded, and was actually lucky not to get a second booking in because he just fouled Gakpo when it went out of play. Lucky there not to get sent off, to be honest. Howe was fantastic. Again, had Salah sorted until around the 75th, 80th minute when he got took off because, again, tired because he's playing that many games. Same with Malik Chow. I think that's 32 starts in a row now for Malik Chow. You can see getting tired, clearly so. Trippier, 35. Thought he had a great first half hour with Elanga. Thought them two were doing really well on the right wing. Elanga was working hard, tracking back, but again, got tired. And we said in the preview yesterday, now what I want to see from Newcastle in this game is courage, belief, confidence to go there and get a result. And we did that in the first half. We really did start the game with no fear. We had 66% possession about 15 minutes in. Got the goal. Before that as well, we were unlucky when Harvey Barnes hit the post. Fantastic free kick, very good move off the post. Didn't quite get enough curl on it, but a fantastic effort nonetheless. Newcastle had 7 corners, I was counting, in 27 minutes. Liverpool had 1 just after that. Dan Burn had a chance from a corner. After the corner, there was a cross back in by Lewis Hall. Great delivery. I think they were expecting the keeper to get it. Alisson didn't reach it. Burn could have got there, didn't. But then Gordon put us 1-0 up anyway, deserved that lead. Like I said, games end. That was suiting us, but you have to start being a bit smarter defensively. We're a bit too wide open. Which Verts to Ekitike was a very good goal. It's just so fucking annoying that it was Ekitike. And then the second goal was bad from our defending point. I thought we were really slow getting back. You could see that we were on the attack, and then everyone was just a bit lost in no man's land. There wasn't people running back quick enough. And then Chow has to close down Ekitike. He allows him to shoot. He invites the shot. The player who's just scored, full of confidence, point to prove, trying to shut everyone up the away section and that. And he does that. And he finishes, and it's 2-1, and you're 2-1 down. You're losing the game in the blink of an eye. Second half, Byrne was beat quite comfortably by Ekitike. He was in, and then he puts it wide. That's the one I mentioned earlier where he should have had a hat-trick there, to be honest. He put that one wide, thankfully. But then it's Florian Wirtz wraps the game up. When it gets to 3-1, you're just, Newcastle aren't coming back. We just haven't got enough. We haven't got enough energy. We hadn't had enough energy from 40 minutes, to be honest. Too easy for Florian Wirtz, to be honest. Far too easy. Just, again, not tight enough on the opposition. Not getting stuck in quick enough. The intensity's well dropped off by now. And on one hand, I didn't blame that much because we did play in Paris the other night, and a lot of these lads are playing the same games. Obviously, we did make, 6 changes on Wednesday, 3 changes at night. So Liverpool away, we need that intensity. We haven't quite got it. We fell off a little bit, and it's just a bit mental that we're in the January transfer window still. Day to go, 2 days to go, shall we say? Monday at 7 p.m. deadline, and we haven't strengthened. And you should look at that tonight and be like, we need to strengthen. Alex Murphy comes off the bench. No slant on him. I'm looking forward to seeing him play. I think he's a decent player. But you can see we need defenders. You can see we need fucking everything, to be honest. We need a couple of signings, don't we, to beef up that squad and to have a couple of difference makers in there, but especially in defence for numbers. You can see how tired they're getting, and then they just drop off. Triple sub on 72 minutes, like we said before. Wissa, Voldemort, and Murphy, too little, too late. Asula, 83 minutes. Got on the ball once on the right wing, put a cross in, didn't happen. And then it's a Nick Pope blunder. The first time we'll say that is he made a couple of good saves early on, but Nick Pope with a mistake there, falls to Canate, and he puts it in the back of the net, and it's 4-1. And it seemed like that one was written because I thought Canate had a really good game. He was getting the whole Ibu chance from the Liverpool crowd there at Anfield, where it sounds like they're booing, but they're cheering him for his name. And it's written in the stars for him this week with his father passing away and stuff, and he was emotional there. So he puts it in the back of the net, but it's Nick Pope with the mistake there because Canati nearly scored before that. Just before that, he nearly scored. It was the writing was on the wall. And as I said before, 6 points off Liverpool in fifth, Newcastle in 10th now. The Mackems can go above us on Monday night with a winner to Burnley if they get that. That's all my notes done. Shout out to Sports and Nerdy 1701 for this super chat. Not good enough. We need reinforcements. Some players need to leave the club in the summer. Not going to lie, Eddie Howe needs to leave so we can develop more. That's what a lot of them are saying. We're hearing a lot of that online in our comments on social media and stuff. Today, I agree with that first part there. We've just been talking about absolutely 100% about needing reinforcements. We've just said it there on January. It's fucking mad that we're actually in a transfer window with an opportunity to strengthen. And we're talking about, SCR and, it's the right players not available. You have to take a gamble. I'm sorry, but the scouting network should be having many players lined up, loads of different options, whether it's a young kid over there or it's someone else experienced. Then it has to be a signing. It has to be either look at what Forest are doing. Forest were trying to get Mateta. Forest were trying to get they're meant to be getting Fratesi from Inter Milan, a player that's been linked with Newcastle for ages. We're apparently turning down 20 million bids for Joe Willock, and then you've got Fratesi gone on loan. Why are we not on deals like that? Oscar Bob went to Fulham for 20 odd million. A defender has to come in, and we're just sitting on my hands, doing now, gambling it, risking it. Crazy. It's a huge risk, and it's not going to pay off. It really isn't. It really isn't. And yes, players need to leave the club in the summer. They definitely will. There'll be a big change in the summer. There has to be because a lot of players are out of contract. A lot of players are aging. Shaw, Trippier, Kraft, Lascelles, who's meant to be leaving this month anyway. Goalkeepers yet again. I feel like am I missing a midfielder or something? But there's enough there in itself, where you're going to have that much replacements, trying to keep a hold of Tino Livramento, Lewis Hall, Sandro Tonali. It's going to be a big summer. It might be a quiet January. Well, it's not, it might be. It definitely has been. It's the bloody 30, was it the 31st, and we've done out. So, yeah. Yep. Not good at all. What else we got? And shout out the 500 people that are tuned into the match reaction. Please smash a like and hit subscribe if you haven't already. Just have a quick look through the comments if anyone's got any. Exactly, Matty. Why aren't we in for Fratesi on loan? I don't know why. I mean, like you said there, like it seems like we hate loans. The only loan I can remember us doing already, how is the Ramsdale? It's just berserk. It really is. I'm not buying this because even Aston Villa as well are doing a bit of business. They're looking at their strikers and thinking, not quite cutting the mustard. Yeah, I tell you what, we're bringing back Tammy Abraham, who was great for us at 18 million. Man, this day and age, that's pennies, man. There's another player that Villa are bringing in who we were after, Douglas Luiz on loan, bringing him back. Last January, Villa did brilliant business. Rashford on loan, Asensio on loan. So I'm not having the excuses that, it's a tough month to do business in. I've seen other teams do business. Newcastle, who won a relegation fight, did business, signed 5 fucking players. Bruno Guimaraes, one of them 4 years ago. So I'm not having it. You can at least get one player in. You really can, surely. Post made 9 mistakes out this season, says Aaron. We should be trying to get fucking Trafford. We're trying to get Trafford every other window. I don't know why when he's available this one, just get him in on loan, see how he does. And sack him off in the summer or give him another deal. How many will Man City hit past us? Oh, dear me. Matty, can you start getting on the How Out train, please? Loads of people How Out in here. I mean, it's funny, isn't it? Because we've had something clipped up the day from our podcast the other day where, we joked about Carrick replacing Eddie Howe. That was massively taken out of context, and the amount of grief I get online for apparently saying that. Yeah, and then on here, I'm still sticking up for Eddie Howe and getting grief. Life of a content career. Can it bloody win? But no, I'm not Eddie Howe out yet. But And I really hope he turns it around. I've stuck up for him for ages and I still do, but I just think that tonight the sub should have been made sooner. You could see the intensity dropped. We should have probably been a bit tight there once we went 1-0 up. It was 4-2 open. You know Liverpool are going to come back and score with the likes of Salah, Verts, Ekitike on the pitch. And we just left ourselves a bit vulnerable there tonight, and especially with the intensity from Wednesday, you knew the energy levels were going to drop, and it was a matter of time. And then whether it's Howe or Wilson or whoever it is behind the scenes of the club, not making signings this January, it's an absolute joke, and it's a huge gamble that is already backfiring, and the window hasn't even closed. There's still a chance to do something, but we probably won't. Shout out to BL2 for this one. My head's absolutely gone west with Isak. Helps give our best footballing days we're just laughed off. Same old, saying we're not seen as a C club. I'll show you this, by the way, because obviously we've gotten the title about Ekitike and Isak. I don't think I've seen the image of Ekitike. Obviously, in the thumbnail, it's him doing that at the Newcastle away end, but he was also holding up the 3-1. And, just seeing this now, for what people are on about, to see Isak there, if you can see a little reflection, you see Isak there, laughing, rubbing his hands. That's not even the worst part, to be fair. He starts stroking Ekitike on the head when he comes off the bench. Just what a disrespectful knob, man. Like, what an absolute arsehole. Like, really, that's the way you've gone on. Like, we literally made your career. Eddie Howe made your career. He seriously did. Like, we took the punt, 60 odd million from Sociedad when nobody else would. His goal scoring record on the league was crap. We'll bring him here, Howe in the team, coach him, develop him, and then he goes on fire. And he was a fantastic player for us. Helped win us a trophy by scoring against Liverpool in the final. As we know in the summer, absolute disgrace, the lack of respect, the lack of professionalism, going on strike, all the rest of it. We know the story by now. Was an utter embarrassment and disgusting. Gets his big money move to Liverpool. Karma hits him in the arse with an injury. Karma is very real, and it was for Isak. And then, just have a bit of class about yourself, man. He's sitting there behaving like that the night on the dugout. Shameful, man. Shameful. Absolutely disgusting. But you wouldn't expect anything less, would you, really, than that from a modern day footballer, to be quite honest with you. Most of them just chasing that. Thank God we've got Bruno and Big Dan Burn. Bruno and Big Dan Burn, those are proper players for you. Fuck off, Isak. You're a daft good now. We also were in the comments than people before were saying out this afternoon. Let's go back down at the beginning. Summer window was terrible, set us back years. That's quite funny, actually. I'm going to put that on the screen. It's not a super chat, but seeing you stick there because, Ekitiki's keeping him out of the team. It is mad how Liverpool went and bought both of them like in it. It really is. Let's see if we've got anything else. I'm just laughing at that because I've still obviously rattled Celtic fans from the pre-season vlog. Mate, you sacked your manager the other week again after about 4 games, bloody Nancy. Yeah, I'm not going to get into this Celtic thing, bloody hell. We're already at Liverpool the day. I've just had Ekitike sticking his fingers at when Isak rubbing his hands. I'm not getting into bloody Celtic. I didn't mind Celtic. I didn't mind Scottish football. It was just a bloody vlog. I was pissed off in the rain. Anyways, let's finish off this show. People complain about Eddie Howe's game management there. Need to sack out and get a manager, says Google. How about his madness? Need the direct front receiver kick into gear. We do, to be fair. As I said before, if it's Howe, I'm sure Eddie Howe wants players. I know for a fact he wants a defender. He wanted a defender in this window, and he hasn't got one. So yeah, again with this director of football, we're seeing bloody Paul Mitchell, Phil Mitchell, all the Mitchell brothers come in and do now as director of football, and then you've got Ross Wilson coming right now, and we need to see something from him. Where's he coming in with his scouting network, with his transfer target lists? We must have some players to unearth here and sign, man. We must. And David Hopkinson, new CEO coming from Real Madrid. Oh, well, man, we've got to have something in the tank. Yeah, you've got to look around and see how the season in the Premier League is becoming a big ask now. Yes, we're still in the Champions League with a decent enough draw. FA Cup's going to be really tough away at Villa. Obviously, Man City next week, 2-0 down at the Etihad is an absolute mountain to climb, especially when the players look this tired. And guess why the players are tired? Because it's the same ones all the time. Even after making 6 changes last week against PSG on Wednesday, 3 changes a day from that game, they're still running at the ground and we're trying to play intensity and all that, and you just kind of do it. So bring in some fresh legs, man. Even one signing. Imagine how much one new signing would give us a lift. Just imagine that. It would give everyone a huge boost. But as the clock ticks down, it looks more and more unlikely. Right, and people are going to finish off in a minute. There's been there's been 2 more super chats, so we'll get into those before we sign off. DJ Big Pinky, fantastic name that. Thanks for the super chat, pal. 1 good game and 3 bad ones. How out? Yeah, well, obviously, I mean, the one during the week, and this was the thing, and yeah, it's just funny. Like I see online, you kind of win. When I'll get the grief for sticking up for Howe, and then someone will clip this up and then give us grief for trying to criticize him. So you kind of win. So I'll just say it how it is. You're right. You know, there was 1 good game against PSG. But before that, I was at Wolves away. Terrible. Tonight, first half an hour, great. After that, poor. And like you said, you know, there's been many bad games this season and many games that have obviously wound up fans, and you can see it. You know, there's 500 people watching. There's plenty of comments coming in who aren't happy with Eddie Howe, and DJ Big Pinky is one of them. Oh dear, I can see the profile image. Jared Salah. What's this going to be? 199 from D3. Samu, Hugo, Isak, and Boomo, Cunha, Sesko, etc. Chose right there. I'm not bothered about missing out on Sesko, to be fair. Like, he doesn't look that great. I think Eddie Howe, you definitely do better at Newcastle, but I don't think he's all that. Cunha is a very good player, I argue that. And Boomo, I'm very much gutted about missing out on, considering we spent nearly the same fee on Elanga. Well, he was out tonight, but he still hasn't gotten a goal or assist. Isak, you know, fuck him, he didn't want to be here. We got huge money for him, and he's done now at Liverpool. Ekitike, absolutely good. I'll give you that. I'm not going to lie. Out of that list, Ekitike and Cunha. Ekitike and Boomo. Cunha wouldn't suit us. We just don't play it. We wouldn't play it his strengths. Just like we don't play it Voldemort's strengths. With Ekitike and Boomo, absolutely. Can't lie. Can't bullshit you about that one. Right then. This'll do. There we go. We're nearly half an hour in. Thanks for watching, everyone. Keep putting your comments in. Keep letting us know how you are feeling, what you are saying after the show. And disappointing night. Great first half an hour. Good that it's ended. Good that we've just the scoring as well. Just looks embarrassing. I do think it flatters Liverpool, as I've said, but again, just getting what ultimately looks like a battering 4-1 when you go 1-0 up is a big disappointment. When you look at that league table, you know, Liverpool are stretching away a little bit, but we'll see. Still plenty of games to be played. I was going to say let's hope we do something with the transfer window, but I think we know how that's going to turn out. All right, everyone. Good night. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one.